A little bit of video might show up, but probably pretty dark because going to the appointments this morning, so I'm staying in bed later. It's not because I'm lazy, it's because I deserve it. That's what people always say. I deserve it. But really, I haven't slept in for a long time. So it's after 7 o'clock and I'm still in bed. This is new for me. But I wanted to do a vlog about a dream I had while it's kind of fresh on my mind. And the details will make sense, probably, but the essence of the dream should ring true for other people. Um, at work, at the beginning of the day, we're assigned an area, you know, um, you know, zones 1 and 2, or zones 1 and 3 bathrooms, or stuff like that, an area of the casino. And so in this dream, I remember I had gone down to the basement to put up supplies, which isn't unusual. I do that when supplies are delivered, but they weren't there. It was everything was laid differently in the basement office, and the warehouse hadn't delivered the supplies yet. But I was in there moving paper towels around or something. I don't know. I was moving around, and when a warehouse guy came in the room, usually you have to move in the hall. He came in the room and he didn't have very much. He had like it looked like a motherboard and stuff like electrical components and stuff. And I was like, I'll just leave him out here until you need him next week, because the guy from facilities was there also. And he and I were talking about how we have to move. We're gonna have to plug in the radio chargers to a different outlet. And there was a coffee maker, and I was like, by the coffee maker, and it was actually like weird. It was like cubicle stuff, and there aren't a lot of cubicles in our basement, so it was like wasn't too real. And there were a lot of people downstairs instead of out working on the floor. And my supervisor Diane was sweeping the floor, and I didn't have any shoes on or socks. And she says, I'm like, you shouldn't take your shoes off or something like that. I was like, okay. I was wearing a coat and a backpack. You know, and I walked out to the elevator, went up to go upstairs, and I pressed 1, and somebody else pressed 4, and so I was gonna have to ride up and then ride back down, and it didn't open up on my floor. It opened up on ground floor or something. I don't know what it is. I just had to go out, and it was the hallway at my kid's school, Roosevelt Elementary. Became the building. I don't know if you're familiar with the building. TSAS is housed in that building, and it was the ground floor. And how it's like split level. Um, you run up to their ground floor is just the front door, and their stairs up, and whoever I was with, it was one of my coworkers I got off with. He sprinted up the stairs and was like, I don't know, my kids go to school upstairs. It was kind of weird. And but we went out, well, it would have been the front door, and it was the door into a hotel, not a casino, because I didn't see any machines. Saw couches here and there, and it was really nice carpeting, and there were guests, and a lot of hallways off to the sides and stuff. So it was like the bathrooms and stuff, but there weren't machines, so it wasn't the casino. And I just started wandering around. I was walking with, I don't know who they were. I recognized them at the time. They're not people I work with now, but they were wearing heavy coats and book bags. So, like, they were going to walk out somewhere, but they're also wearing the EVS uniform underneath. So I knew they were my coworkers, but in the dream, they were my coworkers, but it was actually people from, I don't know, from high school and stuff. I mean, there were people I remember knowing at one point in my life. Um, I just was wandering around and I couldn't remember where I was assigned to work. That was the thing. I couldn't remember what area. So I thought I'd jog my memory by walking into some of the bathrooms. Maybe I remember which area I was assigned. And I didn't. And I don't know. Dreams, time is weird. Time, I think, I was thinking it was a long time, 30 or 40 minutes. I was just wandering around and looking at people, and the guests were just sitting around chit chatting, and some people had drinks. It was really like elegant. Some people had drinks, and everybody was dressed up and stuff. And if you're not very often, you would see somebody with their kids, which is how it is in the casino because it's also a hotel and restaurants. Um, you don't see it very often. You don't see it, but people sometimes walking their kids over to restaurants. So every once in a while, you'd see somebody in the stream. You'd see them walking with their kid, but I couldn't remember where I worked, and I kept thinking, "Oh, I better get to work, or I'm gonna get in trouble for not doing my job." And I don't have my shoes on. I don't remember where I took them off. I didn't know where I worked because there was this thing in the back of my mind that I knew I took my shoes off in the first place I worked, and they were sitting under the bench. I was sitting at a bench somewhere, and I couldn't remember where it was. So I called Joel on the walkie-talkie, and Joel is our lead, and he has a copy of the schedule. So I called Joel and I said, "Joel, what's your 20?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, Joel, I see you getting on the elevator. Hold on." And I ran over there, and the doors closed, and he went up, so he didn't hold the door for me or anything. It was, I guess this is the part where I woke up because I don't really remember anything after him going up the elevator. But I didn't want to call my supervisor and ask her where I was working because then she'd know that I wasn't working for the last 40 minutes. I hadn't been working, and I didn't want her to know that I hadn't been working. It was weird. Okay, so like the details are way off base, and for people who understand, the only people who will kind of get the gist of what was happening are people who work at the casino, EVS already, because I mentioned some things that are specific, but some general things that I think everybody will kind of be familiar with is being in a dream and not knowing where to go, knowing there was something to do, but not knowing what it was. And that feeling of almost panic that you're not getting done what needs to be got done. Because I've had dreams like that where I'm looking for a place to go to the bathroom. I'm looking for a toilet. And I can't find one. And I wake up and I have to go to the bathroom. It's kind of like similar to that because you're looking for something, but you don't know what you're looking for. And I think most people can probably relate to that, having a dream about that. And seeing people, I don't really know, but I recognized as having them having been in my past. Like I think there was this one girl from high school, and this other girl from college was one of my coworkers, and this guy that I knew from a previous job. I don't see that's and theoretically I've heard that everyone you see in a dream is someone you've seen in real life. They're in your subconscious. It's just like, so I think, so if going by that, all the guests that I saw sitting in the little couches and chairs and walking around and everything, they were people I've seen before, which I wouldn't doubt that. That they were just because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of just the public. I see the public, and they could, but they could be people in this movie that I watched the mom last night. I watched Double Jeopardy, and there was this elegant thing at the beginning that, well, it wasn't at the beginning, but where the guys are in tuxedos, the women were in evening gowns. It was a, a fundraiser, a bunch of people dressed up and stuff. That could be where some of those people in my dream came from, because they were all dressed up. So it's like they're all. I remember joking with my mom. Well, kind of a joke. Every joke is a little bit of seriousness about how I wanted to crash an elegant party like that and go somewhere and um, dress up. Yeah, it was just, it was really. I like having dreams, and I don't know if everybody else does. Um, Even quote unquote bad dreams, I like having. Um, okay, that's all I say about that.